Julianna Pena, she shocks the world. She does all this good stuff. But I want to take my take on what I saw. So I'm watching Amanda Nunes, right? And in that first round, she comes out. It's kind of feeling out process. You know, she's trying to land the 1-2. That is Amanda Nunes. She's running through everybody. That's how it works, I suppose. But one of the things that I was kind of reading into a little bit is that Amanda Nunes hasn't necessarily had an opponent in the last 3 years or so that she hasn't been able to just walk through. So when you get a little bit of adversity, when you're used to just bulldozing people, when you're being the bully and somebody decides to either stand up to the bully or bully the bully back a little bit, you get a little bit of a deer in the headlights, a little wide-eyed, all of that good stuff, right? So that was a little bit concerning to me. And as I was watching that, first round when Nunes getting a little bit of the grappling going, I'm like, okay, interesting that you're engaging with Pena in the grappling. Maybe you want to do what you said you were going to do, which was finish her on the ground, show that you're better than her where she's best. But in the second round, we saw a lot of stand-up. We saw a firefight. And what was odd to me is that at a certain point when Nunes' power wasn't necessarily landing flush and putting Pena away when she was used to it, she stopped moving her head. So then she just stood in that firefight, and instead of resetting, like they were just going back and forth, swinging in a phone booth. And instead of just like taking a step back, all right, I'm going to reset, I'm going to shift angles, I'm going to circle out, there was none of that. It was just punch, 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 like rock'em sock'em robots until one of them fell. And Nunes, before she had the chance to fall, gassed herself out. Pena grabs her, takes her back, and chokes her out. Didn't even need the hook. She did the same thing that Jillian Robertson did to Priscilla Cachoeira. So maybe it was an omen, that first bout of the night. I don't know, my man. AJ, do you got your battery working? Do you got something to say on this one, my man? Do you agree that Nunes' game plan in and of itself it was kind of poor. It was kind of odd. It was weird. And I asked you this when the mics were cold, but 10 out of 10 times, they fight 10 times. How many times does Pena pull this upset? I say 1. All respect to the new champ. I say 1. And I think if they do rematch, I think Nunes gets the belt back personally. But give me your take, brother.
Yeah, I agree with you, Derek. I say one time this happens, and Julianna Pena pulled it off when she was exactly supposed to. Craziest thing for Amanda Nunes, I think she was a little too overconfident going in. She didn't have that air of, this girl might be able to do it. She was like, I'm going to dominate her. And I think what you said is correct. Amanda Nunes wanted to finish Julianna Pena, where Pena is at her best, is on the ground. And going forward, man, Julianna Pena, that first round was looking a little rough for her. Yeah. But then that jab started working. And you know the worst part, when you're getting jabbed in the face and you think like, oh, okay, it's not hitting me that hard. And then you catch another one. And then you catch another one. And then you catch another one. And you're just sitting there going back and like, what do I got to do? I'm going to try to land my power on this girl. Boom, ping you again. The jab of Pena was just working very impressively. She came out and showed – Pena didn't only come out and show that she was good on the ground, but she came out to show that she got those hands too, man. And this, even in the first round, it was very dominating for Amanda Nunes. And we saw Pena with the closest at that moment that we'd ever seen Amanda Nunes in danger with that. I believe it was a Kimura that she was trying to pull out from underneath. Mm-hmm. Even at one point, Amanda Nunes looked up at her corner like, oh, okay, do I do this? Okay, cool. So it looked a little bit more in danger, but I still thought going into round 2, Amanda Nunes was going to be very dominant in this one. And insane that she was down to just start trading bombs instead of had good head movement. I was literally speechless, man. Pena brought the fight to the bully. The bully didn't show up. The bully got tired. It got hurt, and then ended up tapping out. Crazy fight.
That was my synopsis of this fight, is that fatigue makes a coward of all men, and, women as well, and that's the situation. When you get in there and you're tired, man, you're not even fighting against your opponent. You're fighting against yourself at that point. But Julianna Pena, what was impressive to me is that Amanda Nunes, if she did a little bit of film study, she would have known that Pena would have done this to her. She did the same thing against Jermaine Durandamy. The only difference is Durandamy, after eating a couple shots, circled out and reset. Nunes just never reset, never circled out. She just ate the shots. And obviously her chin held up. It wasn't a chin issue. It wasn't like she got dropped or got hurt. I think she literally just got too fatigued, too tired. And when she got choked out, it didn't even look like she really tried to defend it. So it looked like you get them tired, choke them out. That's the Rose Namajunas plan, right? Punch them in the face, take their back, choke them out. Like, that's literally what Pena did. That's what won her championship. You got to love to see it, my man. But once again, I do think if they rematch, Amanda Nunes gets the belt back. But at the moment right now, all respect to Julianna Pena. There's nothing we can say, nothing we could take away from her. She shocked the world. She beat the GOAT. It is what it is. Shout out.